Okay, hey everyone, and we are just running a couple of. Oh, sorry, no, that was over there. Hey, I know we're running a couple of minutes late. Hey, hi everyone, thanks for joining us. Thanks for being here. My name is Sylvia Hubbard, and I am a founder of Motown Writers Network, which is a Michigan based organization that helps writers get to their literary goals. And and we also help readers find Michigan authors. We've been established since 2000, and I'm also an author of over 37 independently published novels. Hey guys, hey Sherry, hey David, thanks for putting your name up there, and please give me the hearts. I would love them. I do cherish them very, very much. They mean a lot to me, especially when I say something that you really enjoy. And don't forget to share this out to your viewers. Hey, Greg. And we're going into the part 2 of selling books offline. If you don't know, I like to do out of the box kind of things because there are so many marketers, book publishers that are online, and I want to give you something just a little bit different, knowing that you're going to come here and you're going to find information that you wouldn't find anywhere else. And I like to go into detail, give you direct links and everything. So if you're listening now, you want to check out howtoebook.org. You can go there and actually get the resource to all the links I'm going to talk about, plus a little bit more as well. So that's howtoebook.org. Click on the blog tab. Hey, Denise. How are you doing? Thanks, you guys, for joining me. We're going to get started because, like I said, this is going to be a quick one. If you missed part one was this afternoon, and we talked about the resources that you need in order to start selling books offline. You just can't just, walk up. I've seen people do it, but you shouldn't just walk up into a FedEx, order your books and then just say, hey, first person on the street, buy my book. There is some technique to it sometimes. And some people do, some people don't. But I want to give you those techniques. So we're going to quickly get started. I had given you enough time to get pen and paper. Please don't forget to share, whether you're iOS or Android. Swipe it, share, swipe up, share, however you can do it. Please go ahead and just share it with other people as we get ready on how to sell books offline. Okay, so let's get started. If you haven't gone to your resource sheet, you can get it later, have it printed out, and so forth. Okay, so this morning, just as a recap, this morning we talked about the offline, the things that you're going to need. We discussed getting the ISBN, having your distribution in place, your website e-commerce in place. And even though you're selling offline, you want to make sure that, when you're offline and you're talking about your website is basically your store for when you're not there, or when people say, well, when you're not around anymore, and people say, well, I don't have the money right now. Can I get it somewhere else? You can say, yeah, check out my website. Like I said, the warning to that is stop sending people straight to Amazon. Just say, go to Amazon.com. Stop doing that. Give them direct links and tabs. Even if you do short links, I'm happy with that. Okay, of course, you want to get quality, affordable printed books. And you want to have credit card processing available. Like I said, you can get a Square reader. It should look like that. See, you can go to squareup.com. The link is in there. And it's available. You can carry it in your purse, in your wallet. You can carry it in your back pocket. Basically, it connects to your phone right there. See, and you can swipe it. You can do Square Up. PayPal also has one. So you can just go there. So I'll show it to you one more time. Just Square Up and download the app and just stick it like right in your phone, literally. And you can swipe it, have them sign your phone, and keep it going and sell lots of books that way. It's been very handy. Okay, marketing material that you would need. And I know this sounds kind of like, oh, elementary and everything, but how many of us actually do walk around with our business cards or our book cards with us? Even if we do have a 40-hour-a-week job, we still should be carrying around book cards, bookmarks, everything. We did great ideas this morning this afternoon about marketing materials as well. So make sure you check out the catch if it's not available, or I'll have it available on my YouTube channel as well, and that's youtube.com/SylviaHubbard1. So we're going to get started with now. Are you ready? Are you prepared? If you have all those utensils, let's get going and make some magic happen offline. So the first suggestion that we had was, of course, events, not book signings. And I always reiterate this a lot when I'm talking, especially to authors. People don't want to see you sit in front of a crowd anymore and read a chapter of your book. I've gone to places where for 2 hours one time, this lady sat in front of us and read a whole chapter of her book and wondered why people walked out before the end of it, because that's pretty much all she did. Just sit there and read it. It was no discussion, no nothing. We just listened to her read. You have to create an event, something that's going to get foot traffic in the door. Hey, Stephanie, make sure you give me some hearts and send this out to other people. But you want to create foot traffic and get people excited about coming into there. Hey, Glam Life. We want to make sure that when they're coming in, they're going to be doing something, enjoying their time there, because they're sacrificing time. Time is so precious, and you want to make it worthwhile, but you also want to sell books at the same time. And I know that sounds kind of exhausting, because you would rather be sitting at a typewriter or a keyboard and clacking away. Well, you do have to get out there. Hey, Nisi, you do have to get out there, and you have to get people to enjoy their time that they're spending with you, because time is so valuable. So you want to try to put together some great events. I do have a link in there to show that. Hey, author S. Lewis, on how to make your event an event and not just a book signing. Yeah, you need to be engaging. You need to create like a networking kind of event, or you can create a networking event, workshops, discussion groups. You can take current subjects, make them around your books. I remember a couple of book events we did where the author, and that's horrible. People just don't want to hear the author read. You want to engage in people, current events and everything. Hey, First Paris Grove, yay! Congratulations. Thank you. I'm honored you got to share it with me. So you want to do out-of-the-box ideas and create an event that people want to come to. So you can contact libraries, independent bookstores, businesses. Yes, you are. I'm glad to see you are here, Miss Stephanie Lewis. Or schools, niche-related schools and businesses and organizations. You can do it at their monthly meetings, and you want to offer a chance to speak on a current topic that's related to your book, and get people interested and engaged. And don't just sit up there and do a soliloquy about your platform or your podium. Make it engaging, make it educational, be a resource to people, give new information, facts and stats that they're just going to be like, wow, I love listening to this person. If you're scared to speak in front of a crowd, join the Toastmasters. There's some all over the world you can join. Make sure you're doing events geared towards readers and writers. I see a lot of writers. I see a lot of authors who do events and only other writers come out. You want to actually try to do events that's going to encourage readers to come out. So try to gear towards that. Pay attention to other people. If you've never been to a book signing before, go to one. Don't just wake up and say, hey, I want to do a book signing, and you've never been to one. Go to one. Go to several of them and find out how they did it right, how they did it wrong. The best ideas I've seen come from actual baby showers, where they have these fun games, networking, get people engaged, get people just talking to each other and having a really great time. And I've seen one author actually take those kind of concept games and put them at her book signing to get people just talking, to get people having fun, to get movement in the crowd, where people just not sitting down for 2 straight hours listening to it. Now, I'm going to warn you, if your event is over 2 hours long, you should be providing food and drinks. So either schedule tightly or be prepared to feed people. Okay? I'm just letting you know that's an extra tip. That's not even in there. Okay, I also have a link of how to throw a book launch party that brings you sales. Ask book clubs online to find out what they like to do. Right, you can just basically, and ask your readers, put that out. What is a great thing to do at a book signing? Ask it, get a lot of feedback before you just decide, I'm going to get up and do a book signing. Because people don't want to go to book signings anymore. That's just like a bad word. Like, that's worse than late night church. That's terrible, I know. Hey, Rena. But it's true. Like, you say book signings and people are like, oh. Because they know they're going to be sitting somewhere for 2 hours and either they're coming just to show their support, right? They're coming just to show their support, but it's not going to get you any sales and it's not going to get you any favoritism in any way because they're going to say, hey, I'm not coming to something that she's throwing again. So you kind of want to make it interesting and fun. Or informative, one or the other. So make sure you are doing that. So number 2, if you have any questions, just throw them out there, or any suggestions, just throw them on out there. Number 2, create a press release. I've seen people, the people have gone away. What have you done at your book signings? For mine have been informative, or we've done giveaways, but we do I've done network giveaways. I because I want people to come and everyone has something somebody wants in the crowd. So usually I'll do how many Twitter followers, how many Twitter handles can you find in the crowd? So people have to actually walk around and get real Twitter handles from people. And we've passed out $10 Amazon cards with that. We've done, of course I feed people. I like to feed people. I love that. That's awesome. I've invited even other authors and done collaborations, where they all share their book loving experience and we all just kind of entertain the crowd with our love and passion for, how we got started. Reading and writing and having that love and passion. We have I've even invited one of them I invited this marriage guy, and he talked to women because it was a whole bunch of women coming. He talked about ways to keep a man, what women needed to do, and to the extreme, to the little, and how we need to just be able to, he gave tips and tricks of what we need to do for women in marriages or in partnerships. So it was kind of cool because he was answering questions and everything. I know, it's kind of like he was like a junior Steve Harvey, but it was kind of cool. So I was really happy about that one. But I usually try to, if I can't entertain enough, I'll find somebody else. I always know either a local comic, a local singer, song, a person who plays an instrument or something that'll bring the crowd in, keep the event moving, fun, live. For the informative ones, I do I put together great PowerPoint presentations, that's going to inform not only the writers there, but also readers as well. I do one that's called Weaving Romance Around Suspense. And I love doing that one because it draws readers and writers into my literary journey of how I write books and how my mom created a love for reading. So I can do that for almost any event and draw people in because I bring personal experiences, whether I'm at a church. I'll even do it at a church, talk about romance at a church because I even bring in spiritual stories of how doing what I do and how I love, having a gift that God gave me, has helped me out. So, I'm able to speak at churches, I'm able to speak at schools and things like that. But like I said, stop having book signings, just book signings. You do not want to do that. So, number 2, Create press releases. Yeah, it was really, yeah. Thank you. Okay. Sometimes you can sell a book offline without even being there, and that's what press releases actually do. Submitting press releases to local media, local organizations, getting your news in the hand of radio, television, and print is an awesome way for you to be able to get the word out without actually being there, but also giving news fodder, especially on slow news days, to feature you. The extras write related current news and crisis happening locally and nationally that relates to your book or your expertise. You can also write how-to articles and submit those to media, especially like small print publications that's around your city, local print. We get close to about 5 to 7 local papers and magazines around the Metro Detroit area where people, and they love stories written, and they'll feature stories. You just send them how-tos or things that people need to know in crisis, and things that's going on related to updated current news topics, and you can actually make it very relatable. I get featured a lot. I usually around, like, we have what's called we have Valentine's Day, and I usually send press releases out at the beginning of January, to feature, hey, I'm a romance author in Detroit, and I get featured in a lot of stories around the magazines here. And then we have in Detroit, and I don't know if they celebrate, I think in Ohio they do celebrate Sweeties Day. And Sweeties Day is kind of like it's hard to explain because some people say, well, it's for the guys. Some people say it's for everybody else, other than your partner. But it's just Sweeties Day. And that's in October. So usually about September, I'm sending out literally that same press release. And I'm getting picked up again about my writing and everything. So that's kind of cool to be able to do something like that. But some people believe you should send a press release out almost every day. I've seen people do that. Like back in the day, somebody used to send press releases out literally every month about something that they were doing. Some people even say that in some marketing books that I've read by authors, they say send press releases out almost for every event that you do. Do a press release on it. Because sooner or later someone's gonna pick it up. You never know. But yeah, sending faxes out, you can do it from home, and I know you're like, oh good lord, we don't have landlines, but you can actually send out digital faxes as well. But for press releases, don't forget to submit to local talk shows on local cable news stations. Those are very forgotten, and even local podcasters that can have you on the show. We talked about submitting to podcasts earlier, and you can go to my YouTube channel and check out my podcast video as well on how to submit to there. So yeah, definitely don't forget those. Those are just the extra tips. So number 3, distribute flyers or postcards. There are so many opportunities where you could leave postcards and flyers wherever you go. Always have those available and handy. I like to put mine in my purse, but I put them in a Ziploc bag to make sure they don't get damaged. Because, I have 3 kids, and, I have to have a really huge purse. But I like to put it in a Ziploc bag, and then when I'm going places, I like to drop my flyer somewhere, wherever I go. Using resources like Canva.com or Fiverr.com in order to create flyers economically and getting them printed. You can also do flyer and postcard sponsorships. Work with other authors or even businesses and have them take the back of the flyer, pay for the whole run, and pass those out, and get up to 5,000 flyers just like that. For like $106, you can do that and have it and just send those out all the time. We have the power to create flyers and postcards without breaking the bank. Yeah. Okay. Make sure you come back and listen to the replay and share. Okay. So extras, make a goal in passing out materials. And I know we're shy, but make a habit of still passing out flyers and postcards. And we've gotten away from that. I don't know why. I guess, we can go and drop a flyer on somebody else's Facebook page, but we can't pass it out to a complete stranger. I don't know why people can do this. Like they're able to do this easily. I guess because you're not in front of a person, but you can still do it. If you got kids, have them do it. The kids are very So explain the sponsorship. So what you can do, you can actually have, okay, so you have two sides to the flyer. One side of the flyer can be all your information. And then you can actually approach businesses, especially small businesses, and say for like $100, can you sponsor the back of my flyer? I'm going to be passing these out, give them a list of events that you'll be at, that's upcoming, that are offline, or where you're going to be sending these flyers to. And then most times they will pay for it. They'll go ahead and say, okay, I'll sponsor your flyer. They'll submit the back of the flyer to you. You submit both of them to the printer, and then hey, you're basically, your whole run is paid for, where you don't have to do it. You can do this for flyers. You can do this for brochures. You can do this for booklets. You can basically like take a 6-page booklet where, you're folding the page in half. Let me give you an example. So like, a 6-page booklet. And this is just like a piece of paper. But this is the front of the booklet. And you can basically sell ad spaces on the back. And you got 3 pages inside. Basically, you can fill up with, excerpts from your book, who you are and everything. But basically, people who bought ads at the back can literally pay for the whole run of the booklet. I've done that a lot of times, especially in the beginning when I'm getting out, and I can pass that booklet out like wherever I go, because then people will read it. It'll be a short, really great excerpt that's going to grab them and want them to come to the website, or, I'll send those to reader conferences or reader events and even book clubs in the area, just because. But it's all paid for, and it's a great way to not pay for it yourself. Trust me, I'll find a way for somebody to pay for I find ways for people to pay for other stuff like that, without me trying to, because I want to spend more money on, buying my books or buying other marketing methods that I really should push my money into. So sponsorships are just awesome, and they're easy to ask for. Because if you're doing the foot traffic for someone, they're glad to just say, hey, here you go, I'd love for you. And with so many small businesses, especially the person who is even doing the flyer can do it. Will do the sponsorship. You can even ask them, hey, can you take off half of the flyer cost and do it, so you only have to pay half of that. I've done that as well. For our conference booklets, I've never had to pay, because I actually let the printer take up 3 pages in my booklet with like all their services, literally. Then I'll go find friends and stuff the booklet with. So that works. Don't forget to put contact information, social media links, and websites on your flyer. I've seen people not do that. I saw this great book cover, and then I flipped it over. It talked about the book, and then it told me to go to xlibris.com. That's all it said, was go to xlibris.com. And I was like, this author just missed a wonderful opportunity, because I would have just clicked in and got a sale. But I'm not going to go to xlibris.com, where I got to put my credit card information all in to this site that I don't even like. Okay, so no 8x5, 11x5 flyers. Don't make the huge paper flyers. Don't have your flyers literally this big. Please don't do that. No one likes this, because when they put it in their purse, they're going to fold it all up like that. And that's not what you want. You can do half flyers, and then make sure the top fold goes like that. So if they do fold it, they're going to fold it in a way where they can still see the information on both sides. So you want to make sure you do either half flyers, or you can do rack cards, which are good. You can always just look up rack cards for the dimension, and they're just basically the little longer than postcards, that you can do those. You can print them at home. You can buy actually card stock that's really cheap, almost as cheap as buying a pack of paper. But you can buy cardstock at any Home Depot, Office Depot. Office Depot, Staples, not Home Depot, Office Depot or Staples, where you can buy cardstock and print it off on your own printer. So you can actually do that as well. So number 4, we're going to number 4. If you don't have any questions about that, volunteer with local organizations. I know you don't have a lot of time. I know you don't, but volunteering for local organizations has been one of the best ways I have just done something fun without even, trying to sell a book. I'm in there, I'm getting my hands dirty like everybody else, and they say, well, what do you do? Well, I'm an author. Really? What kind of author are you? And I'll tell them, and they're like, oh man, I'm going to check out your book. Or like, then it's like, hey, if you're an author, you can do this and this and this. And I'm like, yeah, of course. And I mean, they get the word out that, hey, she's an author and she's helping out and this is awesome. We need to support her. A lot of people will put strength and become cheerleaders behind people they believe in or people they really, really like. And volunteering has been one of the best things about being an author, where I can go and I know I'm selling books. I know I'm going somewhere to sell books. I volunteered with not only with literary organizations around Detroit or different literary events in Detroit, but I also volunteer with Habitat for Humanity. I volunteer with different organizations like domestic violence organizations here in Detroit and around Metro Detroit. I've done a lot of asthma volunteering because 2 of my kids have asthma. So I often take them to different events and I volunteer for that. I've done mother-son dances where they have dances actually where sons who don't have mothers, and I go out and I'm their date. Sorry about that. Also, I've volunteered for a lot of organizations. I'm always free to volunteer because it brings so much, number one, credit to my brand and who I am. But it also gets the word out like, okay, not only does she write, but she's also a strong community member. And the awards, you can just actually say I'm an award winning because I get awards for those volunteers or recognitions for my work in the community. And so then I'm not just a best-selling author, I'm an award-winning best-selling author. So you can put that behind, and that creates even more credit to your brand of saying, hey, you must read this person. So it's great to put that on my book. I can say I'm an award-winning best-selling author because I've gotten awards and recognitions even from like the Michigan Congress for the volunteer efforts that I do in the community. You can also volunteer for their organization, especially if it's niche related. Most times they're having monthly meetings. You can actually set up to do an event for their monthly meeting. Just set up in the back while they're doing their monthly meeting. When they take a break, they can come in the back and actually you can talk to their members about that. You can submit news articles to their monthly news zine that they send out to their members. That would give you a great byline. And this is like free. Sometimes you don't even have to be a member of the organization in order to get their members to know about you. But submitting, volunteering, being at the monthly meetings and sitting in the back and selling books, those are great ways to literally get more readers on to your paperback books. We also discussed, make sure when you're doing these events, always have some way to capture addresses offline. A lot of people forget that. They used to do it a lot. Everybody used to have a sign-up sheet on the table, but now they don't do that anymore. Always make sure you have sign-up sheets on the table. Make sure at the bottom of the sign-up sheet, you let people know I'm going to be putting on your mailing list. You're putting their name on a mailing list. So make sure you do that. Make sure you always have business cards everywhere. Especially when you go to those things, and of course send out press releases. If you don't know any associations or organizations in your area, or you're out of town or you're going out of town and you want to find associations, number one, you can always do meetups, meetup.com. But you can also go to your local library and you can either buy this book at a bookstore, but it usually costs about $1,000. Or you can go to your local library that has this book as a resource, and it's called the Encyclopedia of Associations. And if you type in, go to Amazon.com or go to the howtoebook.org blog post, and you can actually look in the thing, and I have a link to it. But it's called Encyclopedia of Associations. This book is a valuable resource. It tells you what the organization is, updated. It actually updates every year or every 2 years. It's an updated version, and it tells you, number one, what does the organization do, how long it's been established, how many members it have, what niches it has in it, like what it, handicap, men, blind people. I mean, it just goes down the list of all the niches that it hits. Literally, you can look up in the back of the resource and find all the organizations just for women in the United States, in Michigan, that was just created to help women do something. You can actually find those. So that's called the Encyclopedia of Associations, and you can look that up. And like I said, you can buy your own copy, which is like $1,000 and something, or you can go to the local library and just have a lot of copy money and start copying out of that book. So number 5, book festivals and fairs. So book festivals and fairs, you can actually find those. And true, I said don't do book signing events. But local book fairs and festivals, now I'm not going to say you're going to sell a truckload of books at every book festival and fair or book conference, but you will get great contacts, great networks, not only with other authors, but with other people in the community that are actually looking for authors. I've gone away from a lot of these events with at least 2 to 3 more speaking events or presentations that I'm going to do. So I usually look at these more as stepping stones to other events I can do offline, because I'm networking with everybody. I'm trying to find out what everybody else is doing and how I can do what they do. So I have a link to how you can find local book fairs and local, because finding library book fairs, local library book fairs, does anybody else have like a problem remembering all the local book fairs that take place, and then they just pop up and you'll be like, oh man, I wanted to be part of that. But actually there is a site that the government runs that libraries can actually submit when they have a local author fair. And you can go to this site and actually click on it, and it has almost all 50 states. I know you guys didn't even know that. When I found it, I was like, wow. So you can literally go to a lot of local fairs all over the country by clicking this link and finding out when they have their fair. I know. That was really interesting. And because it's at a library, so the 90% of the time it's going to be free. 90% of the time. Now, if you also want to find out other local fairs that are taking place, book fairs, where it's privately run, but they're using the library, you can literally go into Facebook, because most times they're putting a Facebook event up. And 2017 events are now being posted. I know, because I'm like, now I'm looking for them. But what you do is you type in whatever state you're in and type in either type in book fair as one word or 2 words, and you'll start getting events, and they'll give you like people, all of everything, events. They'll give you like things at the top of Facebook, and then you click on events, and then all these different book fairs will start popping up, or literary events will start popping up. Now, another place you can go is eventbrite.com. Literally, you can go there to find different book signings and book fairs that people are having, that they're asking authors to be a part of. Now, the private book fairs, they usually charge vendor fees, but they're no more. I've paid no more than like $50, $60 to be at those. Some of them are really extravagant. One of them, like, I was gonna do it, but it actually coincided with another. It was a once upon a time event, so she was inviting all these romance authors, and there was a great ball at the end. So it was really kind of cool, and that was taking place in August here in Michigan. But actually, that's how I found the Rust City Book Fair that's going on in Troy, Michigan in August. And also, oh, thank you. I'm honored, Rhonda. You know I love your work, so I'm just honored you're sticking around. But I've gone to Eventbrite to find stuff. I've gone to meetup.com. I found stuff there. But Facebook has been like, if you want to find the private upcoming stuff that's coming up in like the end of the year, they're booking for the end of the year now and going into 2017. You can basically go to these fairs, find new readers, and get a lot of information about other upcoming events. Because I mean, okay, see, what happened was I had been off the horse of going offline for a long time, and that's why I'm pretty much doing this. I'm showing you how I did it. So I was like, okay, where do I find it? And I just went to Facebook because Google wasn't giving me anything. I mean, you go into Google all day long, you won't be able to find these. But so like I was on Facebook and I saw this author. Now, I'm not going to say his book was not good, but the cover was this horrible green, and it was a romance, and all he had was this little caricature on the side in one color, but he was booked at all these events. I mean, it was just ridiculous, and I was like, how is it possible? He have all these events, and he's like, I'm going here, I'll be here. I mean, it's just listing and listing of events. So what I started doing was following him around of where did he find these events in advance. And then one day he posted, all of a sudden, this group shows author events that's happening all around Michigan. Yeah, he put in the work. He put in some real work for this ugly book. But he was going around with this book proudly and everything. So I was like, I started like secretly stalking him. And I started finding out where all these events was. I also check other author sites all the time. When I go to author sites, I'm checking their event page all the time, especially Michigan authors. I'm checking their event pages to find out, okay, they got an event. How did they get an event? Usually they'll put the link of the event. Go there. Hey, they're still accepting authors. Hello. So I started, literally, if you go to my Amazon page right now, Ugly Books, I know, Ugly Books details too. Well, I learned a lot. I always say, you can learn a lot from everybody. And I learned a lot. Like, it really humbled me to know, hey, I worked darn hard to make my books look all pretty. And this guy got more events. Man, he was like a celebrity. So I was like, okay, I'm going to do this. I'm going to find author events. So if you look at my Amazon author page, or even if you go to my website, I do have updated events. I have updated events coming up. So literally I'm starting to do 2017. I just got my first 2017 in Idlewild, Michigan. So that's awesome. I'll be doing a workshop and their author pavilion, so I'm really excited about that. But I am starting to apply now for the 2017. I just listed 2 events on my Facebook page, so if you go to sylviahubbard.com/Facebook, there's 2 events in Ohio I found that I've applied for. One is a dirty event for authors, so I'm gonna try that one out. And then another one is a romance book author event in Ohio. So go to my Facebook page, and I know it's a lot of information, but scroll. But there's 2 events I just did on my Facebook page as well. And then follow me if you don't. Okay, so number 6, because you guys always catch me at night and make me late for work, because you guys know I work at night. So, number 6, we're gonna do a bonus. for the other author events, for African American authors, you can do that. What is that? Troy's. He actually lists every year the different aalbc.com/events. You can go there and actually see all the literary festivals that are happening all around the country. You can actually go to aalbc.com. And it's not just for actually black authors. You can be a white author, but a lot of them are, of course, black related. But you can go there, and they have like just different festivals all over the country that's happening throughout the year for 2016. And he actually has a printable copy of it too. So that's aalbc.com. If you forget it before we get off before we finish it, just go to howtoebook.org/blog. You can pull down all these resources that I'm talking about now. Okay, so number 6 is a bonus and out of the box idea. I know this sounds wacky, but you can actually sell your ebooks offline too. I know you're saying, "Oh my God, no, you didn't say that," but. The reason why I got this idea is because we were doing a book signing, a book fair, and this little girl came in, and all she had was this little bag. Everybody else had trucked up their books up these long stairs, but all she had was this little bag, and she took her 2 minutes to set up her table. She put out her little tablecloth, put three stacks of business card size things, like 3 stacks of them on the table, put up like an 11 by 17 poster, and then bam, she was ready. That's it. Now you're gonna be like, "Oh my, well, what happened?" So what she had, oh man, I forgot to bring one over here. I might have to like leave the camera space and go look for it, because I'm like, oh, I forgot it. But actually what she did was she created, I can actually show you on my laptop, because I did the same thing. She created what's called QR codes, and a QR code is basically like that. That would be a QR code. So on the back of the QR code, this QR code links to a URL, a website link, and each QR code, each card that she had actually had a different discount code on it. So you would buy the card from her. With the book cover on the front, the QR code on the back, and it had a discount code at the bottom, and you could actually buy a free ebook from her. And you would click your phone, it would pick up the link, and then ask you for the discount code. You put the discount code in, and bam, they get a free book on their phone right then and there. And that's what this little girl did. She sold out these cards. She was selling them for $1. I know. I was so mad. I was like, I hauled 80 books up them stairs. She came in with a little bag. But she actually sold out, so I was really proud of her. But I learned, like I said, I learned from everybody. I take nothing. So, like, literally, I'll show you. So, like, this was I created a card. No, showing my jealousy. So, this was the front of the card. So, literally, this is the book cover of the book. And then, on the back of the book, I had the QR code. Now, this is one of my free books. Actually, one of my free. I can't get it any bigger than that. But basically, this is one of my free downloads. And if someone scans this, they can immediately start reading. Now, what you can do is you can either have one where it's just, this is a PDF to the book. But you can also, I've seen people like down here, they'll put a link to the book. And you go to that link and you can choose either as an EPUB, a Mobi, or a PDF. They can choose it. When they choose that, they'll choose a direct download. They'll choose a direct download. If they're iOS or iPhone user, they would choose a EPUB. Kindles can choose the Mobi, and the iOS. I think I'm not sure if the iOS takes a Mobi or not, but the Android will take a Mobi if you have a Kindle reader installed, and it'll actually open up on your Kindle automatically, and you can save it to your Kindle library. But you can give them so many options, and you can just go to Calibra Books. Type in Calibra Books, and you can actually save your book onto your website like that. or into your secure area like that. Or you can actually go to smashwords.com. When you load your books, you can create what website? They can either download it, number one, like my free book, they can actually download it from my site. So I actually can see when people download these books, and that gives me statistics on where these cards are being more effective at. So you can actually put the PDF for a free book on the site, hand these cards out, and can send them to reader conventions. Say you can't go to a reader convention like Rom-Com, you can pay for the promotional thing, but you can't go there. So you can actually send them out. People can just do the QR code and then instantly start reading the book right then and there. So you can put the file either on your website, or number two, you can go to smashwords.com. You can either do discount codes. If it's a free book, you can just do a discount code, or you want to make it a free book just for them. Put a random discount code on there, and then from Smashwords, you can like either have it as a permanent one where only when they'll get this book free only if they have this card, and you can even ask them to pass this card around. I have one book like How to Love a Black Woman. Is that How to Love a Black? No, it's not How to Love a Black. It's Diary of. Yeah, it's a diary of. It's a first like a diary. You're reading a diary, and I have this where I'm sending out this code. But most people are paying to buy this book. But for reader conventions, I have them where they can just go to Smashwords and download it for free with that one little code. And I've done it where I've gone to book clubs and did different codes, so you only get one download per code, and actually sold those cards out to book clubs. And that's been really successful because they're like, well, I want a sequel, but the sequel is only available as a download. And I was like, well, I can sell you the download for $3. And literally, they will buy a card from me for $3. And it's been very effective because they want to read the sequel to the book, or the second standalone to the book. And it's only available as a free ebook. So that was a bonus. You can also do them as flash drives and as CD-ROMs. And if you don't want to get the big bulky CD-ROMs, like the huge ones, you can actually get mini CD-ROMs that can go into any computer as well. And they're kind of cute. And you can make them into little tiny books, but they're about this small. You can actually do that as well. That's just as a, want to do it. You want to get a QR code, you go to qrstuff.com. qrstuff.com, or go to the howtoebook.org to the blog section and get that from there. Now, all of these ideas can be done you can actually collaborate with other authors to help you out or to do them. Hey Bella, thanks for joining. And you can create great collaborations doing these things offline. You'll have a road dog when you go on long trips, of course. I don't like to drive over 10 minutes. So I'm usually trying to find like an author to collaborate with so we could drive. They can even drive my car. I don't care. I just don't want to drive. But if they like to drive or they want to do the driving, I'm cool with it. Here, let's go. Let's get on the road and go. So it's great to collaborate with authors, and you can share table expenses. You can share, like, if you don't have anybody to be at your table, you'll have another author there. So that's kind of cool. I also have other resources that you can go to, like the Great Lakes Booksellers Association. You can find independent bookstores in the 5-state Midwest area there. It's a listing of all bookstores, mostly all independent bookstores. You can actually go there and see, hey, Sherry, you can go there and actually submit to these, and they'll have who the owner is, their email address, their website. So that's at the Great Lake Booksellers Association. You can check out my site at sylviahubbard.com. I have a Tag Tuesday Tips where I give other links, valuable links to library associations, other independent bookstores all over the country, literally. I have links there as well in my Tuesday Tips as well. And if you subscribe to the site, every Tuesday I come out with new marketing tips for you. So you can always do that. Also, you can always, number one, this has been like one of the best books I've ever bought. It's called 1001 Ways to Market Your Book. I have never gotten through the book literally because I find like great ideas and then run with them and change them around. Oh, stop it. You're going to make me cry. Right. It's like, this is a valuable book. I love this book. I just went to Amazon. You can actually pick it up. It's not available in ebook anymore. You actually have to get it as a paperback because I think he's updating it. But it's a valuable book because it gives you great ideas, links, and suggestions of how to market your book. Like these literally for $12 you can save yourself thousands and thousands of dollars just by getting this book. So I suggest you get it. You can go there to the link at thehowtoebook.org/blog and click the link and buy the book immediately. I'm telling you, this is the best book. It's been around literally since 1989, and he changes it all the time. So I think that's what he's doing, John Creamer. You can follow him, Kremer. Follow him because he delivers really valuable tips and updated market information for people. At the end of this, I do have at the end of the blog, when you go to the blog, I have actually how to write killer press releases. I know. And you know what? When we had the fire, I had a fire 2 years ago, and we went through the junk. My book is burned. But I dusted it. I literally dusted it off. And then my son was like, "Ma, the book is ruined." I was like, "I can still read most of it. I'm taking it. I'm taking that book." So it's like it's a valuable book because, I mean, you literally can't get through even the first 10 without stopping and saying, "Oh my God, I gotta go and do this." So you're literally doing it, and then you start back over because every year you can do a new spin on it. So a lot of people were asking me how to do press releases. What are press releases? I see that a lot. We've gotten away from it for so long. So I have like links on how to write killer press releases, step-by-step guides. I have a template for press releases as well. You can go there and see that as well. And then I also have the do's and don'ts of press releases, so you can see that as well. So we're going to get out of here. If you love me, give me hearts. Please, please, please. I would appreciate that. Make sure you share this out. I am getting ready to go to work. I got to go and do my 40-hour because I got kids' braces to pay for. Because they pay for my braces and my kids' benefits. And all my kids got bad eyes except one. What's the website? howtoebook.org. And click on the blog tab, and you can get all the resources we talked about. If you missed anything, or I was talking too fast, or you're like, I don't know what she said, you can actually go there and get all the resources. You can even share that link. I don't mind. You share that link. That's going to actually go into my new book. I'm going to add even more stuff to it. For the press releases, that's on there. howtoebook.org. Go to the first blog post, and you can, thanks, Stephanie. Yay! I have a sister, Stephanie, so I'm going to tell you a quick thing. My dad named all of us in alphabetical order, so it's Sharon, Stephanie, it's Sadie, I forgot my oldest sister, Sadie, Sharon, Stephanie, and Sylvia. No, he made us all in alphabetical order, I guess, so he could remember, but he never called us by our name, so it don't... But anyways, go to have a blessed night. Thank you. So you can go to howtoebook.org. Make sure you subscribe for more updates. Go to sylviahubbard.com and just keep up with what we're doing. We're still doing our live blog story. And I'm going to talk about blogging a book soon and tell you how to do it. Because a lot of people have been asking me, how do you blog a book and have people pay you to write a story? So it's been kind of fun because we have actually over 300 subscribers watching me write a story. And it's $15 a pop. So that's kind of cool. They just come in and see me write. And I'm going to do a thing about that probably at the end of this month to kind of explain how do I do it. And I actually do it on a WordPress.com site. So it's really kind of cool. And then go to MotownWriters.com. Of course, if you're a Michigan author or you just want to know what we're doing, you can subscribe over there. I appreciate you guys. You guys have a great night. I appreciate you sticking around and trying to make me late for work. I appreciate that too. This gets me all hyped up. Do they have to log in? Yes, they actually have to. They have a password. It's a password protected post, so they have to actually log in. Or give the password, and they get the password when they pay. So it's kind of cool because you can do that easily on PayPal, and as soon as they pay, you just give them a password. Bam. So they actually, you know, people say, well, how do you know they're not sharing the password? I've not seen anybody who have made remarks on it who haven't paid, because I'm looking, and people who haven't paid or don't understand you have to pay, I'm going to look for the ugly. Right? But you didn't hear me say that. Well, I did say that. That's out in the open. But I'm going to tell you, don't ever knock an ugly book. Don't ever knock it, because you can learn something from it. But, okay, I'm going to get out of here. So, howtoebook.org, SylviaHubbard.com, and MotownWriters.com. I appreciate you guys. And next week, we'll actually be doing our monthly tips, our monthly promotion tips. So make sure you join us next Thursday. So bye. Make sure you share, give me hearts, and I love you guys. Thanks. It's been great, and I love the feedback. So good night.